Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I begin with this lesson, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Bahashim is in the name, but Kakwadash is the Holy Spirit. So, double honors to the apostles, the elders at Great Millstone, who do rule well and teach well. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and you Acumen, your brothers, pushing this word throughout the four corners of the earth with all truth and sincerity. And you few sisters that do listen and learn, shalom. All right, and this is going to be titled, Stop Accrediting Satan So Much, man. Or just to that effect, stop accrediting Satan. And this is the word accrediting, is the present participle of the verb accredit, which means to officially recognize, authorize, or certify that a person, institution, or program meets a set of recognized standards. You see, Satan does not have his own standards. The spiritual demon Satan is not an authorized person, a user in this movie. And we're going to prove that, man. So real quick, because, when you read the book of Revelations, the 12th chapter, that's where a lot of you Christians are losing it at, because you don't understand that there is a physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan here on earth. And that's in the book of 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, which I'm going to get, I actually didn't even have it here, but just to get straight to it, 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. And this is why you really got to start with the milkman and understand who wicked is. That way you can start unlocking different things that the Lord may be able to reveal unto you. But this is the book of 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. And really I can start at verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come except it come of falling away first. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So you see, the son of perdition is talking about who? Esau, Edom, the wicked. Verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called Yahweh, or power, or that is worshipped, so that he as a power sitteth in the temple of Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, showing himself that he is Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai. You see, he wants to be like the Most High, man. He wants to be like Yahweh. Remember ye not that when I was yet with you, I told you these things? Verse 6, and now ye know what withholdeth, that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity does already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And verse 8, this is really the point. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. You see, so the wicked, who is known as Esau, Edom. You can read that in the book of Malachi. Esau, Edom is known as what? The border of wickedness. That what? He comes after the working of Satan. All right, so that old serpent in the garden, that the devil, Satan, these are all different names. That red dragon, red, are all tied back to Esau, Edom. And as far as Satan goes, he doesn't have his own will. He doesn't have his own, and that goes for Esau as well. That goes for all of us, man. None of us have our own will, okay? And really, it's lucky. This is going to be really quick, bear with me. This is the book of Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? You see, your ways are already prededicated, preordained, predestined. The elect predestined, the 2/3 predestined. You other nations predestined to be born of the other nations. Esau, Edom predestined. Okay, Satan doing his bidding, doing his works. Guess what? All let and allowed by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, man. All right. So real quick, Psalms 103 and verse 20. Bless the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, yea, his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. And guess who is an angel on the left-hand side? Satan. Let's get this in the book of Job, chapter 2. And I'm gonna go because this is a main talking point of you Christians. We'll go ahead and break down Revelations, the 12th chapter, and then you'll go ahead and say, but what about Job? Didn't he make a bet with God, showing you that he does have some sort of his own will in this thing? And that's not so. You got to understand that this is why the scriptures say through like precepts, I get understanding. You understand that this is more of just like a story that's being told. This is more just like to make it a little bit more entertaining, man, in a sense. Because with the understanding of the scriptures, you know that this dialogue never really took place in that sense. It was more so of the Lord already doing, bringing it to him. And I'm going to read that and prove that in the scriptures. So Job chapter 2 and verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. Why? Because he is an angel himself. Okay. And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, as thou consider my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth me and excuseth evil, right? One that feareth the Most High and excuseth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity. Although thou movest to me against him to destroy him without cause. You see, Christians are, let's go, you see. Verse 4. And Satan answered the Lord and said, skin for skin. Yet all that a man has will he give for his life. Verse 5, but put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And this is when, Satan starts putting these, different plagues upon him, and he causes, a lot of, evil to, come about him or come upon him. But again, like the precepts say, Isaiah 45 and 7, and I'm going to read up at 45. That's like at 5. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 5. I am the Lord Yahweh, all caps, and there is none else. There is no power beside me. I girded thee, I girded thee, though thou hast not known me. Verse 6, that they may know from the rising of the sun and from the west that there is none beside me. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. Verse 7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things, man. The Lord is the one that causes good to happen in your life. Quote unquote, causes hard times to come upon your life. He's the one that does all this. He brings peace. He brings the evil. He brings the light. He brings the darkness, man. All that crazy shit that you see of judgment going out and whatnot. Guess what? That was all ordained by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Why? Because he controls the angels on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side. And that's something you guys got to understand. Ecclesiastes, or it's like Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, 39 and verse 28, just straight to the point. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. What does appease mean? Let's look that up. Appease, satisfy, soothe, make peace with, appropriate, or propitiate, Salakia. Ally. Whoo, allies. These left-hand side spirits, these left-hand side angels, they're allies. All right? So, we can further prove this, and let me see if that's pretty much it. Yep. Now, let's go back to Job, the second chapter, and go to 42 and verse 11. All right? This is going to really solidify the point here. I don't want to make it too long. I am on my lunch right now at the moment. But, I don't really need to touch on too many precepts. But Lord willing, I can come back on this. And, when I get, Lord willing, a deeper understanding, we can go into breaking it all over again and getting more accounts. But this is the book of Job 42 and verse 11, man. Then came there unto him all his brethren and all his sisters, and all they that had been of his acquaintance before, and did eat bread with him in his house. And they bemoaned him and comforted him over what? Over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. So, man, that's one thing I say, even when it comes to reading books like the book of Romans, going into, the olive tree, the book of Acts, the 10th chapter, it breaks, if you just keep reading, it's going to break itself down, man. You Christians don't know what the fuck you're doing. You read one precept and go ahead and make a whole doctrine out of it. Okay? And furthermore, you don't take the precepts really into consideration, because if you knew the precepts, you would understand through the precepts that in the book of Revelation, the 12th chapter, there's no possible way that Satan that's spoken of there could be talking about the spiritual demon Satan. Okay? So, back at Job 42 and verse 11, and comforted him over all the evil that the Lord had brought upon him. Every man also gave him a piece of money, and every one an earring of gold. Verse 12, so the Lord did what after this? The Lord blessed the latter end of Job more than his beginning. For he had 14,000 sheep and 6,000 camels and 1,000 yoke of oxen and 1,000 she-asses. Man, this is how you know the Lord is truly in control of it all, man. Let me get this in the Blue Letter Bible. Bear with me. I want to get this. Bear with me. Where is it at? Oh, it's one, yeah. All right, real quick. Bear with me, man. Oh, where's it at? Nah. Okay, Salakia. But when you go into the elect, oh, it's Mysterion, Salakia. Bear with me. There it is. Bear with me. The Wadi al-Bashim al-Shai. There it is, Mysterion. All right, cool. Hidden thing, secret, mystery. Hold on. Where's it at? Oh, there it is. Bear with me. There it is. Salaki, man. It's right there. I'm over here bugging out. But, hey, generally mysteries, religious secrets, confined only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals. You had to have been initiated to have been able to receive this truth, to be able to receive this understanding, to be able to know what's going on. Just furthermore showing you that Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai is truly in control of this whole damn movie, man. Everything. Down to the nitty gritty of what we know as existence, man. So the angels, the left hand side spirits, or on the right hand side spirits, guess what? Guess who they're taking orders from? Yahweh, man. Okay, from Yahweh. And by Hashem Yahushai, because now Yahushai has what? Power over, the angels now, man. So, yeah, man, just this was going to be real quick and just straight to the point. Lord willing, this has been edifying and exhorting unto the hopeful elect. And it was, well received. With that, I want to close out. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to our power Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem Kapadash, Shalom, Wa, meaning and, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, Barakatham.